Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. This week we're pleased to present you a special podcast episode related to the last Apple keynote that just occurred on September 12th. So Olivier and me will discuss during approximately 40 minutes on new product presented during this event. And for those of you who'd like to learn more about accessibility features of this product, it's going to be the time for you to grab useful information. So enjoy! So I'm actually online with Olivier. Hi Olivier.
Hi Alex.
How are you doing?
Fine, you?
I'm doing well. I hope you pass a great keynote and you find interesting product there.
Well, that was interesting to watch, but I wasn't particularly impressed.
Same thing for me, not really impressed by the product present. So we'll check together what Apple present during this keynote. And maybe let's start with the new Apple Watch.
Yeah, because that's what they started with after introducing their new Apple Store stuff. They went with the new Apple Watch. They called it Apple Watch Series 3. It will be available in two models. The difference between the two models is that one of them will support a SIM card, basically. So it will support 4G.
Yes, and why a SIM card? Simply because the Apple Watch will allow to listen to Apple Music and to use the watch without any iPhone. And what else with the SIM card?
Well, let's say your phone is at home and you're in the street or you're far away from your house and you want to make a phone call. Well, it's possible now with the watch. And in WatchOS 4, there's going to be a keyboard, I think. So you will be able to dial your number and call directly from your watch.
Yes, exactly. So a keyboard. So for those who need to deal with PBX and IVR, so automated system that asks you to press 1 for this, 2 for that, you'll be able to control all that stuff using the Apple Watch. Regarding the availability in Canada for the mobile network, two providers will be offering the new Apple Watch and the possibility to activate the virtual SIM card in it. So Bell and TELUS at this time are supposed to offer this new Apple Watch. Pre-order September 15. And I think also Apple announced something with Siri for those who have low vision or fully sighted.
Yeah, so previously when you wanted to use Siri, like for us voiceover user, voiceover was speaking to us what Siri was saying, but for a non-voiceover user, they had basically to read on the screen. Well, with the Apple Watch Series 3, they updated the processor so that Siri now can speak. And I even wonder if it means high quality voices availability for voiceover.
Yeah, that's a good thing to check when the official release will be available, to check if the voice will be high quality voice or a compact voice. Because yes, actually the voice in the Apple Watch, it's possible to hear it. However, in a noisy environment, it might be more complicated to hear well the watch. And that's why personally I'm using since last year the possibility to check the hours using the vibration system integrated in it. So I hope Apple will continue to provide this interesting feature for those who are blind. For low vision users, so talking about Siri, yes, in many cases the screen is too small for majority of you. So with the new possibility that Siri offers to talk without voiceover enabled, so you'll be able to hear voice feedback from Siri. The Apple Watch since the beginning can calculate heartbeat.
Yep, and now they extended this further So if you have heart illness, heart failure, and you don't know it, basically you can receive notifications from your watch.
Yeah, so if your heartbeat not on a regular base or it's irregular, you'll be notified even if you're not doing sport. Processor?
It has been upgraded to be faster.
So yes, compared to the first model of Apple Watch, it's going to be faster and easy to use with VoiceOver. I'm not sure personally if I'm gonna buy one, but with the SIM card available, it might be interesting, especially for those who are going to the swimming pool or on the beach.
Yeah, because the Apple Watch 3 is going to be water resistant as the previous generation. And for me, personally, I'm not gonna buy it mainly because I switched on a Google Pixel a few months ago. And unfortunately, the Apple Watch doesn't work with Android. I do have, however, an Apple Watch that I bought in 2015, so I will still be able to use WatchOS 4, and I will still be able to give you my thoughts about the new software on it. Because WatchOS 4 is coming on Tuesday, September 19th.
Alright, so maybe in the comment section of the podcast, you can send us a comment. At the end, I'll give you all contact details. So maybe if you're interested about the podcasts regarding the Apple Watch, that can be something that we can do for you. So let us know.
Yeah, definitely. I do have an iPhone 5S to support it, so I will be able to make some podcasts on it.
Yeah, and personally, I'll purchase the new model of iPhone. We'll talk about this later. So now let's talk about the Apple TV. New Apple TV available this year.
Yeah, but before we do that, I just want to come back on what happened in the Apple TV history. So 2 years ago in 2015, they introduced the Apple TV 4G, which basically allowed installation of apps from the App Store, so App Store availability on the Apple TV. There was also a new remote with a touchpad, which they called the Siri remote, and the Apple TV had better processor, a lot more RAM, and we could play games on it. And 2 years later, because last year they did not upgrade it, 2 years later, they upgraded it. This is now the Apple TV 4K. So basically, it allows better image, like the image is in 4K.
Yeah, but regarding accessibility, yes, the Apple TV 4G was incredible regarding accessibility compared to the Apple TV 3G. Because, yes,
3G?
Third generation.
Yeah, true, because we have a voiceover router, we have some voiceover gestures that we can perform on the touchpad.
And it was not possible with the previous model.
With the 3G, no.
No, it wasn't possible.
No.
So, yeah, compared to this 3G Apple TV, that was really interesting for the accessibility and the possibility to install apps and to navigate using Siri's. However, this year with the Apple TV 4K, the only thing that was presented during the keynote was the fantastic 4K image. And for us, for a totally blind person, the 4K image, we don't care about this.
No, we really don't care.
And same thing for the game.
Yeah. Unless they make available games for us, like the blindfold games as special versions for Apple TV. But even, we don't need 4K for this.
Exactly, we can continue using a 4G Apple TV instead of 4K.
Definitely.
Yes. The only thing that was interesting to heard about was that Apple will finally launch the TV app for the Canadian market, the TV app that's actually available in the United States will now be available for Canadian customers. So I think it's going to be interesting for us because instead of using a TV terminal from Videotron, from Rogers, from Bell, etc., things will be able to use the Apple TV to listen series or TV shows in replay. So things gonna be something to follow.
The only thing I hope is that the TV app will be available on the Apple TV 4G.
I hope so too, because if it's not available on 4G, that's gonna be kind of ridiculous, because actually, yes, it's available right now for US customers on 4G as well as on existing model of iPhone. So yes, I hope so. But for those who has low vision, think maybe you can benefit of the new Apple TV 4K this year. So maybe it's going to be something interesting for you. But for somebody who is totally blind, I think you can skip this step for this year.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing maybe positive here is that the Apple TV 4K will have the same processor as the iPad Pro.
So more faster.
Yeah.
And by the way, regarding tvOS, I think Olivier were able to test the new Braille feature.
I did not test it, but because the French Braille table is not available, but I will test it even with the English Braille table. The Golden Master, which is basically the final version before it's released to the public, is currently installed on my Apple TV, so I'll be able to make some tests. And if you want to, I can make a podcast on this.
Yeah, so let us know in the comment section. And finally, let's talk about the iPhone. So Apple presented three models of iPhone during the keynote, 8, 8 Plus, as well as the iPhone 10. So maybe let's start with the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus.
Yeah, so basically they upgraded the processor to allow wireless charging. So basically now the back of the iPhone will be glass, no more metal. I will come back on the processor a bit later though. It is more powerful than the last one. It is called A11 Bionic. And it will support, as I was saying, wireless charging.
Yeah, so what is wireless charging? Let's talk a bit about this. Wireless charging is the possibility to put your iPhone on a flat surface, magnetic flat surface, and this surface will recharge the battery of the iPhone. It's like, for those who knows about the Apple Watch, it's the same system. So you just put the iPhone on the small charger and here we go. A lot of chargers will be compatible with the new technologies that will allow you to recharge the iPhone wirelessly. And maybe in the future some restaurants, some airport will provide to customers like the possibility to recharge the iPhone simply by putting them on a table or something like this.
Yeah, because the goal is to not have to carry your charger with you. So basically you don't need to plug a lightning cable in. You just put it in and it charges.
Yeah, so actually it's gonna be an option. However, the lightning cable will be still provided with the iPhone and the lightning connector will still be available on the iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus. That will allow you to recharge using your traditional lightning cable or to connect the iPhone to synchronize it with iTunes on your computer. Apple launched an accessory, by the way, to recharge iPhone and watch and everything that can be recharged wirelessly, right?
AirPods as well, yeah.
Yeah, the AirPower. And so it's going to be universal charger that will allow you to place your iPhone on it, to place your watch on it, and even your AirPods, because now they're a small box that actually contain the AirPod will be available for wireless charging.
Yeah, so basically you're gonna need to buy a new case to actually support wireless charging of your AirPod.
Yeah, but it's gonna be optional, and if you purchase Hair Power, that might be interesting you.
Will you get it?
The Hair Power?
Yeah, and the AirPods charging case as well?
Maybe I'll go ahead and test it, even if I purchase like an iPhone 8 or something like this. But that's interesting. And for those who are having an Apple Watch, whatever the series, it's going to be compatible with the Hair Power surface used to recharge the iPhone and AirPod and watch and everything. By the way, for those who are having an Apple Watch, the actual charger provided with the Apple Watch, you'll not be able to use this charger to recharge the new iPhone because it's not enough powerful. So you'll need to purchase a new wireless charger. Let's come back to the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. I think I heard about new speakers.
Yeah, new speakers, louder, actually.
Yeah, so stereo speakers like inside of the iPhone 7, but yes, louder and more bass. So a bass boost compared to the iPhone 7. Anything else?
No, it's gonna be in the iPhone 10 that will have a lot of things to cover.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, something about the iPhone 8 for those who would like to know about the Touch ID. The iPhone 8 as well as iPhone 8 Plus still offer the Touch ID technology. So the possibility to just put your finger on the home button. So you'll be able to unlock your iPhone using the same technology that's available since iPhone 5S.
The iPhone 8, 8 Plus, and 10 will be available in 64 and 256 gigs. So no 128 models.
And regarding the pre-order, it's on September 15.
Yeah, and shipping...
Yeah, shipping 1 week later.
Yeah.
By the way, for the iPhone 10, we'll talk just after this about the iPhone 10. The iPhone 10 will be available for pre-order late October. So let's talk about the iPhone 10, or also called iPhone X. This iPhone was launched for the 10 years of iPhone. Apple launched the first iPhone 10 years ago, so that's why it is now called the iPhone 10. What's the main new feature about this iPhone?
Well, a few years ago they introduced Touch ID, which is the fingerprint scanner on the iPhone and also available on the iPad. On the iPhone 7, they removed the home button, the actually physical home button, because remember, at first Touch ID was placed on the home button. Last year, they removed the home button, the physical button, but they still kept it. So when the iPhone is turned on and we press on the home button, on the virtual home button, we feel as if we were pressing a real button. And that's because of the Taptic engine. Now, on the iPhone 10, they took a step forward. Not only did they remove the home button, so there's no more virtual home button, but they also removed Touch ID, and they replaced that with a technology that they call Face ID, which is also available on the Pixel and on Samsung devices. However, the difference here is that on the Pixel and on the Galaxy devices, you have the choice either to use your fingerprint or face recognition. On the iPhone X, you don't have a choice. Touch ID is gone. So if you want to use Apple Pay, you have to use your face to authenticate. If you were using Touch ID in certain third-party apps, that's gone. It's replaced with Face ID now.
And before we continue on Face ID, just to give you more indication for those who don't know about iPhone 7, the way the home button was made, it was only a big round in the bottom of the screen. You know, a big circle, like the physical home button, but it's just integrated into the screen. And it's like if you press and hold the button of an iPhone 6, 6S or iPhone 5, 5S, like if the button is stuck inside. So it's the same way, but instead of pushing the button, the Taptic engine recognizes the pressure you made with your finger. Regarding the iPhone X, no button at all. So let's come back to Face ID. The good question with Face ID for those who are totally blind or don't have any light perception who are using artificial eyes, we don't really know at this time if the Face ID will work or not. I did some research regarding Face ID technology. First of all, on Android Pixel, because I purchased one too, it's working. On Android Pixel, I can close my eyes, then shoot my face, so my phone recognizes it, and unlock my screen this way. However, if there's not enough light in the room, it's not gonna work with the Pixel. Regarding the iPhone, I was really surprised when listening to the keynote, because if you listen to it later, you'll see that the person who did the demonstration of the new Face ID feature was saying that you raise your phone, wait, you look at it, and then you swipe right. So, and at the end of the presentation, the person told, like, if your eyes are closed, it's not gonna work. So I was wondering about this, and I did some research on the web. The only thing I found is an article from Jonathan Mosen saying that a feature in the accessibility settings was available to turn off the eyes recognition. However, be careful, because this feature is probably related to the fact that this new iPhone recognizes your eyes when you're looking at it. Because if you stop looking at your iPhone, the screen will be automatically locked. It's not, I don't think that this settings is related to the Face ID recognition. I don't think so. So, I've called the Apple accessibility team on September 13. And when I've called the Apple accessibility team, hey guys, did you receive any information regarding Face ID? And for those who are totally blind, no light perception, and who are using artificial eyes, well, we did not receive any information, any specific information regarding this, because the device is not available right now for everybody. The only thing we know is that the face, the entire face, is recognized by Face ID. Not only the eyes, like on Samsung devices, where it's essential to keep your eyes open. But on iPhone, they told me that, yeah, it's the entire face that will be taken picture. However, when I told to the accessibility team the fact that during the keynote, the guy said, if you close your eyes, it's not gonna work. Oh, we're not aware about this, and we don't have any kind of information regarding this kind of issue. and probably it's gonna work, but we don't have any information to provide at this time. So I'm a bit disappointed about the answer I've got from Apple Accessibility team by calling their US toll-free number. I was a bit disappointed. So personally, I'll need to find a device and test it, because in my condition, I'm totally blind. I'm not wearing artificial eyes, but I know a lot of person who are. So for sure, I'll do some test with a Face ID device, an iPhone 10, when I'll have one in hand. I don't know, Olivier, if you'll go ahead and purchase one to perform some test or something.
No, I will keep my Pixel, but I will take a look at the face recognition on it. When we were together yesterday, remember, I was unable to set up it, but I will try with some more lights and I'll test it. But personally, I'm a fan of the fingerprint sensor, and I'm disappointed that it's gone.
Yeah, me too, because sometime I'm just on the road and grab my phone and unlock it inside of my pocket by just putting my finger or my thumb there, and it's working. So think I will gonna do a podcast later on this topic, because both of you will probably be interested to learn more about the test we'll be able to perform on new Face ID.
Yeah, and now I would like to talk about how are you going to go to your home screen and how you're going to turn on voiceover and all that stuff, because the home button is gone. Basically, to turn on voiceover, you will have to triple click the power button.
That's not a bad idea, because actually the power button is still there. Regarding the on gestures, visually, you need to swipe down then up. So swipe up from the bottom of the screen and swipe up by sliding your finger. With voiceover, for sure, we don't have the exact gestures for now, but I'm sure that voiceover will provide information or gestures regarding the possibility to go to the home screen, use the app switcher, and to navigate between opened app. Already there's gestures that allows you to navigate between apps without using the app switcher. If you flick right or left 4 fingers, it's gonna work. You can swipe between opened app. So probably it's gonna be something like this. Regarding Siri, what I've heard about, it's you just press the button. However, I don't know if we'll need to press and all for sighted person, due to the fact that the iPhone can be locked using the eyes recognition. Probably they don't need to press the button to lock the iPhone, because if they stop reading or looking at it, the iPhone will be automatically locked. But for us, using an assistive technology like VoiceOver, a screen reader, or magnifier, probably we'll need to press an all, but we don't have any information right now about this. But we'll need to be careful, because if we press an all too much a button, probably the phone will shut down, or call the SOS emergency, because it's actually the case with the Apple Watch. If we press and hold the button, sometimes the 911 emergency can be called. And
I think you have a confirmation button to press, don't you?
Personally, I never tried this.
Because I would not either. I would
not. Personally, what's happened to me when discussing with a customer over the phone, I was giving some measurement to a customer, and I pronounced a digit, the same number. I don't want to pronounce it right now, because probably some person will listen to this podcast with their iPhone or something. And during the time I was talking with my client, I heard an iPhone around me saying, just a second, I'm calling the emergency service. So, like, just wait and I'm calling the emergency. So, I put the customer on hold. Okay, just a second, there is something like urgent. I grabbed the iPhone and I was talking with the 911 service. So I was, oops. But yes, I never tried the press and hold SOS feature just in case. But I know that 911 call center receive a lot of call due to the new features that Apple are now providing in the watch, the iPhone, etc.
And this feature can be turned off. That's what I did when I was still on iOS. I turned it off to avoid calling 911 by mistake.
I think it's possible for the press and hold. However, for the Siri, I think due to the Hey Siri feature, it's not possible to completely turn off this feature. It's possible to turn off Hey Siri, but regarding the emergency command, I'm not sure it is possible to completely turn them off.
No, but when you press the button on the Apple Watch, it is possible.
Yeah, for the Apple Watch it is. Yes, it is. So, this is it. When we'll get some additional information, we'll let you know. Personally, I'll go ahead and order for sure an iPhone 8 soon, not an 8 Plus, but an iPhone 8. And for those who are partially sighted or for those who are completely sighted, and this new model, the screen's supposed to be fantastic. And for sure, it is now possible to improve the camera to take a better selfie picture. So for those who like to take a lot of selfie, I think you'll love this new iPhone model. However, for the accessibility, I think we cover all subject right now. I don't know, Olivier, if you have something else.
Don't hesitate to comment. Tell us what you think, because we don't receive a lot of comments, and I personally I would like to hear feedback from you. Like, do you like this? Would I have something to improve? Tell us your feedback. Don't hesitate.
And for sure, if you'd like to suggest us a podcast episode, or if you have question on a previous episode, you can send us your question or your suggestion for sure, even by email, over social network, by phone. We have a dedicated line for podcast, and for sure we can integrate you in the next podcast. So, hey, listen to your previous podcast. I'd like to know more about the subject you were talking about. So yes, it's going to be a pleasure for us to answer your question and maybe let you participate in one of our podcasts too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so you'll find all the contact detail for Canadialog and especially the podcast email address and phone number at the end of this episode. Thank you very much, Olivier, and
you're welcome.
I hope we'll be able to discuss about Apple technology as soon as we'll receive our new device.
I'm curious to see when you will receive the test you will make and the results of these tests.
For sure, I'll let you know. Before the end of this podcast, I would like to say thank you for your loyalty to this series of podcasts about assistive technologies. I would also like to thank our loyal collaborator. As a reminder, I would like to inform you that Canadialog will not provide free technical support on products presented during these shows and that are not sold directly by Canadialog. For any questions, comments, or suggestions about our podcast, you can reach us via email at podcastwithns@canadialog.com. That is PODCASTS at CANADIALOG.com. You can reach us by phone using our toll-free number at 1-888-730-0003 extension 555. Again, 1-888-730-0003 0003 extension 555. I also invite you to visit our website, which contains a lot of useful information at www.canadialog.com. www.canadialog.com. You can also visit us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks for listening.